Hey guys, how are you doing? So today we're going to cover WWDC 2023. So this year's WWDC event has brought a lot of new tech and a lot of updates to Apple's OSs. So for example, it brought the new MacBook Air 15-inch. Then it also brought the Mac Studio with M2, Mac Pro with M2 Ultra, basically making the whole Mac lineup and switching them to Apple Silicon. Then for OS, they brought the new iOS 17, iPad OS 17, watchOS 10, macOS Sonoma, and brought a couple upgrades to Apple's AirPods. And then they also brought a new concept called SharePlay. And then the biggest thing of the whole event, the Apple Vision Pro. So let's talk about the tech that Apple brought in this WWDC event. The first one is the new MacBook Air 15-inch. It was rumored that Apple was gonna bring the MacBook Air 15-inch this year, and it's basically a MacBook Air 13-inch but larger because 15-inch MacBooks are the most wanted MacBooks from the people. So it's powered by the same M2 chip. It has up to 18 hours of battery life, same as the MacBook Air 13-inch that they launched last year. Max RAM that you can get on it is 24 gigabytes, and max memory is 2 terabytes, and it starts at $12.99, which is base specs. So you get 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. So when you're gonna upgrade it, you probably want at least 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. So it's gonna be around $17.99. The 15-inch model is 11 millimeters thick and weighs 3.3 pounds. It has 2 Thunderbolt ports and a MagSafe cable connector, and it has a 1080p camera. The main difference between the 13-inch and the 15-inch here is that it has more speakers. So it has 3 microphones and 6 speakers with force-canceling subwoofers. Another new tech that Apple brought this event was the Mac Studio with M2. It's basically Mac Studio with M2 chipset. The base model comes with an M2 Max, or you can upgrade it to an M2 Ultra, which is basically 2 M2 Max chips combined together. And the combined memory on the chipset is 192 gigabytes. So the M2 Ultra has 24 cores CPU and can stream 22 videos of 8K Pro resolution at once. And it can also support 6 Apple Pro displays at once. The Mac Studio starts at $19.99, and it's expensive, but for people that are doing heavy video editing, picture editing, it's a good option for them. Another new tech that Apple brought this event was the Mac Pro, and it finally moved to Apple Silicon, and it comes with the M2 Ultra. So the Mac Pro, when it got redesigned in 2019, it was Apple's most expensive desktop on their lineup, and you could go up to 50 grand to max out the Mac Pro. This year you can't reach that level yet because, first of all, the Mac Pro can't have the same combined memory that it did in 2019. So with the Intel Mac Pros, you could go up to 1.2 terabytes of just RAM for it, but now you can only go up to 192. 192 gigabytes of RAM is still enough, but like by number, the 1.2 gigabytes is 1.2 terabytes obviously bigger. New upgrades that they brought to Mac Pro this year was that it now has 8 Thunderbolt ports, 2 HDMI ports, dual 10 gigabyte Ethernet ports with 6 open PCIe Gen 4 slots, which is more than the first time that it got released in 2019. Also, it has an afterburner inbuilt into it, so it's going to be far more efficient to use the Afterburner built in the Mac Pro compared to another one, compared to like a third-party one that you could buy for it. The new Mac Pro starts at $69.99. So let's talk about the new OS that Apple brought in this event. First one is iOS 17. So now in iOS 17, you can finally use filters while searching your messages, and then you can also say goodbye to gray screens when you call. You can set full screen photos or memojis to contacts when your friends and family call you. And now when someone leaves a voicemail, you can see it transcribed in real time. So it can help you it can help you screen calls if you don't recognize the caller. It also brought a new feature called check-in, which basically sends a note to a trusted contact when you reach a location. So for example, if it's your kids, it's going to send a message to the kids' parents, okay, that you have arrived home after this specific time, or alert them if they haven't arrived or they're late on their schedule. Also, like last year, Apple introduced a feature that lets you copy photo subjects and paste them as stickers. Now you can do that with video, basically creating GIFs that you can share on messages. And now all emojis are also shareable stickers. Now you can also share your contact information with another iPhone user if the phone supports iOS 17 by simply bringing their phone to their phone and send your contact information to them. It also brought a new feature that Android users have had for a long time. It's the ability to use Apple Maps offline, so you can download the nearby surroundings of your house, for example, and then if you don't have access to data, you can simply just use Maps, which has the surroundings downloaded, and it can still navigate you where you want to go. Apple also released their latest version of iPadOS 17. It didn't have that many updates to it. It basically brought more controls to widgets, and then it has more interactive buttons to let you control your smart home or like play music with the widgets. iPadOS also brought interactive personal data to the Help app, including richer sleep and activity visualization. And it also brought quality of life upgrades like lock screen customization and multiple timers. So this year, Apple also released the macOS Sonoma, which is named after California's most famous vine-producing area, and it continued the WWDC theme of adding more widget functionality. So Sonoma also brought gaming updates, such as a new gaming mode that prioritizes CPU and GPU to improve frame rates. Apple is also paying attention to lower latency for wireless controllers, speakers, and headsets. They're also bringing major gaming titles to the Mac system. For example, it's going to bring Death Stranding to Mac later this year. And Apple on the business side has improved video conferencing with an overlay that shows slide controls while you're presenting. Apple also introduced new reactions that can be triggered with gestures while on a video call. Apple also introduced a new concept called Passkey, which is an end-to-end encrypted password chain that can be shared with other contacts so that everyone in a group can edit and update passwords and that are shared with the group. They also brought major updates to Safari. For example, Safari got security updates including locking the browser window when in private browsing mode and profiles to separate accounts, logins, and cookies between work and personal use. Another upgrade to audio that Apple brought this year was adaptive audio, which basically combines noise canceling with intelligent audio to drown out annoying background noises while letting important sounds like car horns or people talking to you. Um, it also only applies to AirPods Pro Gen 2 and AirPod Maxes. Those are the only two AirPods that support adaptive audio. With the new watchOS 10, Apple brought widgets in form of stacks on the home screen on your Apple Watch. You can use the digital crown to scroll between them. Apple also brought upgrades to its compass with cellular connection waypoints, which tells you the direction to walk and how far you have to go before you can get carrier reception. It also shows SOS waypoint spots and shows elevation view in the 3D compass view. And it also brought a new neat topographical view. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later in the next video.